A warm welcome to one and all. International Workshop Series, a series of 100 programs every Saturday, 5 to 7 p.m. Golden Jubilee Year of NEHU, May 2022 to May 2023. Look up, aim high, nation first, self next. 73rd International Workshop on Inspirational Life Lessons from the Chinese Philosopher Mozi. On this auspicious occasion, Mahasivaratri, jointly organized by Internal Quality Assurance Cell, IQAC, Northeastern Hill University, NEHU, Shillong, and Indian Society for Training and Development, ISTD, Shillong chapter, Shillong, Meghalaya, in collaboration with the Department of Philosophy and IQAC Moran College, affiliated to Dibrugarh University, MORANHAT, and Department of Philosophy, Sri Venkateswara University, SHILLONG, Tirupati, Andhra Pradesh. A warm welcome to today's keynote speaker, my guru, collaborator, Professor P. Chennai sir, Department of Philosophy, Sri Venkateswara University. Professor Prabhasankar Shukla sir, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Northeastern Hill University. Professor Raja Reddy sir, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Sri Venkateswara University. Dr. Nagarajeshri Madam, Dr. Vijay Bhaskar sir. Professor Mithali Kaur ma'am, Principal, Moran College. Dr. Rajan Prasad Bhattakur sir, IQAC Coordinator, Moran College. Dr. Srutasani Gogoi Madam, Head Department of Philosophy and Workshop Coordinator, Moran College. Professor B.S. Mipun sir, Chairman, ISTD, Shillong Chapter, and Professor A.S. Dikshit sir, Director, IQAC, NEHU, Shillong. A warm welcome to senior teachers, administrators, policymakers, research scholars, students, and everyone. Today, a happy Mahasivaratri. Lord Shiva is everything in Hindu mythology. So here, inspirational life lessons from the Chinese philosopher Mozi, the 5th century BC before Christ, extraordinary philosopher. Professor Chennai sir suggested me always find new philosophers and new concepts, new things to organize a program for the benefit of our participants. By following our suggestions, we identified a really wonderful philosopher. I surprised universal love and hate of war. So hate war and love, universal love. This is best concept under Mozi. Wonderful. Just whenever I'm pronouncing Mozi, it coming always the Honorable Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi ji. Because of him, we are secured, safe, and many things. So irrespective of political parties, we always better to see the good things. Honorable Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi ji, informed to the Putin, the President of Russia. This is not a time for wars. So war old already over. Now it is a dialogue. So it is better to interact with each other to minimize the violence. So the same thing was told by the Chinese philosopher Mozi 2,500 years back. During that time, n number of nicely collected videos. Myself, I'm eagerly waiting to listen from Professor Chennai sir the concept of the philosophy of Mozi and Chinese philosophy. There are n number of things already. Confucius also, glad to know about Confucius. We organized under the leadership of Professor Chennai sir, Ikigai, Ubuntu, Lagom, n number of things, well-being. With this, a warm welcome to all the noble participants. As usual, we start our program with Vande Mataram.
Vande Mataram, Vande Mataram, Sujalam Sukhalam, Sasya Shyamalam Mataram, Vande Mataram, Shubhra Jyotsna Pulakitayamini, Pullakusumita Drumadala Shobhini, Suhasini, Sumadhura Bhashini, Sukhadam Varadam, Vande Mataram.
Thank you. I'm requesting Professor Chinnaya sir to deliver keynote address. Over to you, sir.
Respectable coordinator Dr. Amresh sir, and who is the active organizer for this program, and is organizing this program very nicely, and all the participants of the program. In the world, we have great philosophers who said about entire existence is one. We should give most importance, most goodness, affection for all living creatures. So today at present, I supposed to talk on the great philosopher, the world famous philosopher, name entitled Mozi, M-O-Z-I, or it may call Motaju, M-O-T-Z-U, Motaju. So he born in 470 BC. So he belongs to before Christ. He died in 391 BC. So he has a great experience in teaching, in preaching. During the period in his area, more than 100 schools were there to teach different aspects relating with the welfare of life. So here he started a school called Mohism. Mozi or Ma Taju started a school called Mohism. So he preached many teachings through that. So he said many aspects. So he condemned violence, unhappiness. So he urged for universal understanding. He said, universal love is really the way of the sage kings. It is what gives peace to the rulers and sustainable to the people. So he has given important aspects relating with the society law. Basically, he said universal love and mutual aid are essential for happy living. So if you give more importance for universal love, we may get more understanding. If people give love and affection to the neighbors, or friends, fathers, mothers, relatives, all the people, we find equality in the society. For that, he said, indiscriminate, unconditional love is that which is extended universally, in other words, regarding of the personal relations and all. So give love without having any deviation. So live with a simple manner. Don't harm anybody. Give respect for all people. Universal love is the most important for happiness. So he has given importance in the personal life, in the society, in the country, in the world. He said about world, all cities in the world, large or small, are cities of the heaven, and all people, young, old, honorable or humble, are these subjects. So here in the world, during the period, he said, So all cities of the world, irrespective of categories, irrespective of the countries, all countries are nothing but cities of the heaven. So our world is a heaven. All cities of the heaven. So he treated the entire health, the earth is a heaven. So it is a beautiful place. So here all people, young or old, honorable or humble, or its subjects means. So all people are the citizens of the world. So here he said, the wise man who has the charge of government, the emperor should know the causes of disorder before he can put it in order. Unless he knows its causes, he cannot regulate it. So here he has given suggestion to the administrators of the country, top level country. So here he is telling, if the country top person or a king or important administrator wants to create healthy country or a wealthy country, he should give most important for all people. He has to know about what are the disorders for the poverty of the country, what are the problems. Before implementing order and regulation, he has to know about what are the causes of disorder. So if one does not preserve the learned in a state, he will be injuring the state. So he said, give importance for educators, learners, intellectuals, spiritual people, educationalists, all great people of the country. So if you are not giving any importance, encouragement, respect for educators, philosophers, good human beings, they may not contribute good for society. If you neglect these great people, they may injure through their actions to our state. That's why he said, so universal love and mutual aid, they are beneficial and easy beyond the doubt. It seems to me they are most important for a human existence. So in the world we have different type of people. So we have a different type of landlords. So he's telling, um, he said about an important aspect relating with our house. He said, what is the purpose of house? It is to protect from the wind and the cold of winter. So here we are living in the houses and we are not thinking about what are the advantages of our house. We are living in the house. So he said 2000 years back, he said the purpose, the advantages of the house. The house is to protect from the wind and cold of the winter, the heat and rain of the summer. So it protects from cold, winter, rain, heat, summer, and to keep our robbers and thieves. So free from robbers and thieves, dacoits. Once these ends have been secured, that is all, whatever does the contribute to ends should be eliminated. So those who are not contributing for the welfare of the people, society, we should not encourage. So here he is telling, if the ruler sincerely desire the empire to be wealthy and dislike to have poor, desire to have a orderly and dislike to have it chaotic, they should bring about universal love and mutual aid. This is the way of the sage kings and the way to order for the world and should not be neglected. So if you want to create a wealthy country, good country, orderly country, respectable country, avoid partiality. So treat all people, irrespective of caste, religion, cult, poor, rich, big, small, beautiful, ugly. Don't create any discrimination. If you give helping thing, wealth for all people sharing, you may get more happiness. So for that he is telling, you are the world. Human beings are one. Human minds are same. Human feelings are same. If human beings get any success, they may feel happy. If they feel defeat, they may feel unpleasant. So psychologically same. In the same manner, the human race is a one. If you give love to human beings, they may give love to you. If you give some helpfulness, some respect for human beings, you may get the same type of things. If you give hatred to human beings, they may give hatred to you. If you treat human beings with a partial manner, they may give partial manner. That's why he said, human being has a reactive person, he is an emotional person. He has a great wisdom and everything. So for creating happiness, good environment, good society, forget about the mistakes. Give love and affection for all people of the world. They may give in return with a high level or a small level the same type of love and affection. Or if you start divisions, conflicts, hatreds, jealousies, misunderstandings in the people, they may give in return the same type of feelings to you. That's why you may get result on the basis of the seed sown by you. That's why universal love is the most important. Help other people, then you may get a peaceful living. So universal love is the cause of the major benefits in the world. So here in the world, it is a very relevant in the modern world also. At present in the human world, we find various types of differences in the religious manner, in the caste manner, in the property manner, with the racial manner. We find various types of psychological complexes, divisions and everything. So if you have a feeling that entire human race is one, we have to treat human beings with love and affection. Automatically, we may create a peaceful environment. We may convert all financial resources of the world to develop human welfare. So because of lack of love and mutual aid, lack of respect in the human society, millions and billions of rupees are spending for defense, army, navy, air force and everything to create atom bombs, hydrogen. Why these atom bombs and hydrogen bombs and creating chemical weapons, all to protect from human beings, not protect from animals, not protect from tsunami or the cosmic beings. So protect human beings. They are with us. They are in the walking. They are staying in the house. They are living with us. So we are spending billions of rupees to protect from other human beings. That's why he's telling the consequences of partiality to be the major calamities in the world. This is the reason why. So Moses said partiality is a wrong and universality is a right. So treat equally all human beings. So all countries are our countries. All human beings are our family members. Though may be black or yellow or red or green. So don't give any unemployment sources to any. Give employment, give respect, give help, give resources for all being, because they are all our family members. This is a great family, human family. So if you start giving universal love and mutual aid, automatically you may get more happiness. So he's telling so it is due to mutual love that calamities, strife, complaints, and hatred are prevented from arising. Therefore, the benevolent exact is. So here, the universal love avoids all strifes, complaints, calamities, hatreds, all types of problems. That's why spread more love and affection in the world. The words of malicious tender should not be allowed to hear the ear. So if anybody said about a very negative, very dangerous, very ugly manner about a human being, don't allow that type of language in our life. So if everyone in the world will love universally, states not attacking one another, houses are not disturbing one another, thieves and robbers becoming extinct, emperors and ministers fathers and sons, all being affectionate. If all this comes to pass the world, we will get order. So if you have a love in all relations in the society, automatically we may get a good society. When there is a universal love in the world, it will be orderly. When there is a mutual hatred in the world, it will be disorderly. So he is telling two aspects. One is a love, another is a hate. So one is a universal love, another is a universal hate. So what do you mean by hatred? What do you mean by love? Love is a sharing. Love is a giving. Love is a respecting. Love is a tenderness. That is a fragrance from your inner soul. That is a purity. That is a very, very pleasant thing, happy thing. So what do you mean by hatred? Hatred means disliking. Where there is a hatred, there is a division. Where there is a division, there is a conflict. Where there is a conflict, there is a violence and war. So here, the love is the source. Love leads to happiness. Hatred leads to unhappiness. So love leads to world peace. Hatred leads to disturbance in the world. So here the hatred creates psychological poison in the mind. It creates divisions. It creates unpleasant things. That's why he's telling understanding of human mind is the most important. So you have to understand your body, your mind, give scope for awakening of love. You have to keep your hatred on the basis of awareness. You have to aware of your negative emotions and negative thoughts and keep in the silent place in the brain cell. Don't give any permission, don't give any opportunity to come out from your mind the negative thoughts and negative emotions. Only allow positive thoughts and positive emotions. You allow mutual aid and universal love for the society. Then we will see beauty in the world. We will have a very lively life. When fluid lords love one another, there we won't find any war. So in the land field, landlords, so all people have love, then we don't find any disturbance or a disorder in the world. When all the people in the world one another love another, the strong will not overpower the weak. So if there is a love in the world, we don't find any robbers or a thieves or we inequalities, no poor people. So here he's telling, treat earth is our country. All human beings are our brothers and sisters. So all human beings are the one family members. So don't give any hatred, impartiality. Don't give any destruction. Treat with a love sense for all family members. So our family members are residing throughout the world. All cities, all villages, all residents of world are the places of heaven. So the earth is a heaven. So treat all people with equal manner. Don't discriminate. Don't punish. Give always love and affection. Then we will see beauty in the world. We will have a peace in our family in the world. I concluded this speech, Amreswar.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for your wonderful keynote address. Now I'm requesting our noble participants to interact with Professor Chennai, sir. Over to the participants. Venkateswara, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Venkata Subramanian Ganapati.
Yes, sir. One question, sir. What are the
Ah,
guidelines given by Mozi on governance, law, and society?
So here governance, law and society.
Yes.
So here relating with governance, law, society, these are very mutual and interrelated aspects. In the governance, we find rulers, soldiers, administrators. So the administrators should understand the people's nature. Before implementing order, good things and everything, the rulers in the form of administration, they have to discover, they have to understand what are the causes of disorder in the society. So they found that if you treat people with a partial manner, means one person is a great, another person is a not great. One person is a great in he belongs to one caste or a religion. Another person belongs to another religion. So don't discriminate. Don't give any partiality. Um, so treat people with an impartial manner. Equality should be there, respect should be there. So he said about here main aspects relating with governance, wealth and the human rights protection and dignity. So treat entire world is a world of heaven. All places of the world are cities, villages, towns of the our country called heaven or a earth. So treat all people. So you have to spread all resources with a equal manner on the basis of need. Give respect for all people. Don't ill-treat. Give total helpfulness. Then your administration will be very beautiful. So if you are not understanding the mutual care, so he said, while people are in the administration, you give respect for intellectuals, educated, learning, skillful, great people of the country. If you neglect while you are in the administration for intellectual, great people, skillful people, you may get bad consequences from their actions. That's why protect great people. If you ignore great people's works, intellectuals, educators' works in our society, your country will not be a good thing. So here, relating with the law, so in every law implementation, in the law making, love should be there, helping should be there, human dignity should be there. So always give concern for the respect of the. So here, to avoid disorders in the society, to avoid violations in the law, if you give more sharing of wealth and all resources for all people, we don't find robbers, we don't find any thieves, we don't find any fightings for rich and poor complications. So treat equally all people, give resources for all people, always give love and affection. So make all laws on the basis of goodness. So if you give more love and affection, you don't find any crimes, you don't find any importance for implementing law. So he is telling only one point. So if you treat all people with impartial manner, with the equal manner, you don't find any law and order problems. You get more affection and order. So otherwise, if you treat all people with partial manner, prejudiced manner, then you may get more problems. That's why treat equally, treat impartial manner, then you don't find any lawful problems. So relating with the society, so here he said the society, the world is a one family. Don't say any caste, religion or anything. We are a human family. Give respect them, love them, help them, understand them. So live with them with the good words. Don't talk any negative words. Don't harm anybody. So you give with unconditional manner love to all people. Then your society will be very orderly. So here, relating with governance and a law and a society, basic things are don't kill, don't spread violence, don't create hatred, spread universal love, help people with mutual aid, treat people with a impartial manner, equal manner, then your life will be very pleasant. The country, world will be get more orderliness. These are the things we find relating with law, society, governance. Venkata Subramanian Ganpati.
Thank you, sir, for your wonderful explanation, extraordinary explanation.
Yes,
Thank you very much.
yes. So though he's a born in the Chinese country area, but he has no any ideas relating with one boundary, one country, one caste, one religion, one area. He's a universal person. So he treated the entire world is a one family. Truly, So he started these messages with the school of Mohism, MOHISM. He started the school called Mohism. Through that, he spread very great things in the world, maybe 2,500 years back. So at present, we have a political countries. So he lived with a idea of Inva. We are relating with the universe. World is a one family. All human beings are relating with our family members. All human beings are brothers and sisters. He experimented his views in a practical manner. Venkateswara
Thank you,
Ganpati.
sir. Thank you very much, sir. Very nice explanation. Yeah.
Well, very good.
Any other? Anyone else? Pavan sir?
Hello, namaste, sir.
Namaste,
Namaste,
namaste.
Pawan Kumar.
Namaste, sir. Happy Shivaratri, sir. Mahashivaratri.
Thank you to you.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Sir, what is ism? What is ism? How can born various types of isms? What is Mohism?
So it's a, see, I may have more information. I may answer any question, but you have to ask questions on the relevant matter. The is a great world famous philosopher. Though he born in a Chinese area, we are treating Mozo is a world famous. He belongs to the entire earth. He said about the universal love, mutual hate, impartiality. What are the effects of impartiality? What are the effects of partiality? What is a good love or good life? How to live? So these are the central contents. You have to ask questions in this area. I may give important information. You may asking some questions. I may answer, but that is out of subject. You ask any aspect connected with this. You have to observe how Venkateswara Ganpati asked question. In this connection, you have to ask connection question very effectively relating with the present matter. You ask one question relating with
Okay, sir.
Moses'
Okay, sir.
philosophy. I have given
Okay, sir.
contents.
What is Mohism, sir? What is Mohism?
So here,
Explain them briefly, sir.
so that is called a school. So during the period, 100 schools means 100 educational institutions were there. They taught a different type of subjects. This is a before Christ means before Christ during 500 to 400 that area. So here that is a school name. There here in the Mohism he started. He is a great meditator. He is a spiritual person. In the Mohism, we find so all human beings have the same consciousness, the same insight. So human beings have mind, body, heart. They are similar. If you treat human beings with a affectionate and a lovely manner, they may treat us with a affectionate manner. If you give more hatred, destruction, violence to human beings, they may give the same manner. That's why if you want to create wealthy society, good society, orderly society, always respect people, give universal love. Universal love means giving love without any conditions, giving love without any partiality, with unconditional manner for all people. Give financial resources, help all people. Don't say he belongs to this caste, this area. So he said the entire world is our country. That country name is a heaven. So treat all people. So if you are ill-treating people means you are inviting bad things. So here in the Mohism, universal love is the most important for happiness. Mutual aid creates more wealthy society, good society, harmonious society. If you hate people, you may get destruction in the thing. So partiality is a wrong. If you treat people with a partial manner, you may get. That's why treat lovable manner, give helping, understand the human being nature, then your life will be very protective. These are essential things in the Mohism. Pawan Kumar.
Okay, sir. Yes, sir. But universal love, how can foundation of nowadays, sir? That universal
So
love,
here, so here,
how can
universal
foundation
love
nowadays, sir?
so here it is applicable for all countries, all the society. Universal, for example, any country, their sovereign country. So in the country, every country has various types of resources: land, labor, capital, organization. So here, poor people, rich people, all types of people are there. So giving equal opportunities, don't create any inequalities. So on the basis of their family condition, you have to give financial resources, you treat very nicely on the basis of need based manner, help others. So don't hurt people, respect people. So treat all country people are one family members. Here no caste, no religion, no nationality, no richness, no poorness. So treat equally. So here universal law means talking all people with a dignified manner, helping all people. If they have any problems, listening their problems, taking actions to avoid their problems. So sharing, loving, giving, treating all people in the society, the children, the youth, the age, old age. So irrespective of color, irrespective of energy, treating with a good manner. That is called universal love. If countries' policy makers started in their personal life in the policy making, automatically we may get more effects. We may avoid in the future wars, and we may reduce defense expenditure on available resources. We may give all people for happy, loving manner living. Pawan Kumar.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. That foreign
Okay.
countries and Arab countries and India. That is.
So you see, you are creating problem here. You have to understand. So here Mo is saying, so here this is not related to any country. Don't treat Arab country or India or Russia. He said entire world is a one. All human beings are a family member. So he said like this. You have to understand and you have to apply this decision. At present, different. If the people are operating these principles at present, here also we can see in the world we may avoid various kinds of relations. So here this is a related to psychological transformation. Amresh sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Any other one else? Anyone else?
Hello, good evening, sir.
Welcome.
Deeplata
Deeplata
Gupta
Gupta.
from Lucknow.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sir, I heard your lecture. It was very nice and very. But I think, sir, in our Indian culture, or we can say our Vedic culture, is also said like Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. So
Yes.
Mohism is copy of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. What I feel.
So here Mohism, it is not only the Vasudaika Kutumbakam. So there are other more things also there. Here in Mohism, in the Mozi, Matazu said, so our country is a heaven. So the earth is a heaven. He called the word heaven. So all villages, all cities are the cities of the heaven, means only one country. That is a earth. All human beings are the family members. So here, the Vedic expression and the Mohism, we find a similarity. But apart from this thing, he said very beautifully, universal love. You have to love all people, ladies, children, youth, age, no caste, no religion, no standard, or a poor man, rich man, or a thief, or a dacoit, no discrimination. Give heartful expression for all people. Give all financial resources for all people for the fulfillment. So here, impartial treatment, respect, dignity, give importance. He said, universal love and mutual aid are most important for happy life. So if you are spreading hatred, if you are not helping, you are ill-treating, means you are creating problem. So this is also one unique, because this is a world. So for example, we are here, we are not independent, we have fathers, mothers, ancestors. So all human beings have connection with 3 lakhs families genes. So they are our ancestors. Many good things are there. In the Vedic period, we find Vasudaika Kutumbakam, these things. So this is so ask Deeplata ji, Gupta ji.
Yes, yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, sir, in our modern education system, like after NEP 2020, we can say that we shifted from teacher-centric education to child-centric education. So here, child-centric education means education for all. And so how Mohism can be applicable in a modern education system?
Before telling this answer, I will tell you.
Yeah.
So our Indian Constitution adopted on 1949 November 26th.
Yes, sir.
So the Constituent Assembly adopted, approved. That was the Parliament in those days.
Mm-hmm.
So at the adopted day, Rajendra Prasad, first President of India, here Ambedkar, so the Constitution Drafting Committee Chairman, the both people have given speeches on the adopted day in 1949 November 26th. They said, we have collected very great things from many countries, more than 70 or 80 almost great countries of the world constitutions. We have given great things, we have given very important points in the constitution, but one thing is there. If the constitution is in the good people control, they may implement. If the constitution is the good constitution, maybe in the bad people control, they want to see the goodness, they operate differently. Or if we have not prepared a very beautiful constitution, but that constitution is there in the hearts of good people, so they don't bother about the lacunas or incomplete things in the constitution. They may do good things always. That's why, so we have a good educational systems and good philosophy, good things, but we need good human beings. A human being based on good mind, beautiful mind, heartful mind, and a good heart, love and affection. So thoughts means universal welfare, respecting all people. We need human beings based on good thoughts and good heart, love and affection. Then only we may operate all philosophy systems very effective manner. But if you don't find good human beings, lovable person, affectionate person, all scriptures, all records, all things will be in the table only. Deeplata Gupta ji.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. True, sir. So we as a teacher, it's
Tell me.
also our duty to communicate all these good philosophies and best things in our future generation. So it is our duty. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Yes, actually, you said about the role of the teachers in the school education, but up to some extent, you see, in the flowers, we have a jasmine flower. In the jasmine flower, people are producing jasmine scent. So this scent is operating for room spray or something. So the people are also taking jasmine flowers in the religious functions, in the marriage functions, and very important functions. So in the same manner, just like a jasmine flower, so in the small level, though you may be assistant professor of college education or a teacher or anybody, just like a fragrance of a small flower, we may do good things. So they may spread some area, some place. That may be very beautiful for us. That's why whatever the thing we do with a right to a lovable manner, we may enjoy. That's why our energy is limited, our scope is limited, but in the limited scope also we may act with a lovable manner, we may do our actions with a fragrance manner, so we may contribute a good for society. Deeplata Gupta ji.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Very nice. Very nice to meet you. I have seen your appearance. Very good.
Thank you, sir.
Huh?
Thank you, sir.
Welcome, welcome. So you are a assistant professor of College of Education.
Yes, sir. I am in Department Teacher Education.
Oh, yes, yes. Teacher education means B.Ed, M.Ed. Huh?
Yes, sir. B.Ed, M.Ed.
Okay, very good, very good. So very good question. Nice.
Thank you.
Thank you, madam. Dr.
Thank you, sir.
Subramaniam sir from Political Science, SV University.
Welcome, Subramanian garu.
Subramanian sir, Srinivasal Reddy Anna.
Our Hema garu also available, I think that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So
Anyone? Arun Kumar sir.
so ask your question, Amresh sir.
Okay, sir. Sir, what is the 100 schools of thought, sir? First time while learning or regarding Mozi, then only I came to know about this one. I have one beautiful video is also there.
So actually, you see, in our country, we have IITs, central universities, state universities, government degree college, social welfare schools, local body governments. So different type of business schools. We have a different type of educational institutions in the country, just like Indian Institute of Technology, Indian Institute of Management, Indian Institute of Science. So this type, in those days, for science, technology, for philosophy, religion, fine arts, good skills in the 100 types of educational institutions were there. Here the kinds of types of education in those days, so in the form of 100 types, 100 educational institutions, they have different courses, different curriculum, so different aspects for the development of the country, development of the people. So that is the policy of the country, that is the course curriculum of the state, Amreshwar.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Wonderful answer. Any other? Deepak Kumar, sir. Gajala, madam. Jabulata, madam, from Manipur. Okay. I think they don't have any query, sir. If you, with our permission, may go for presentation, sir.
Please move, Amreshwar.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. So, happy Mahasivaratri. Good evening, Professor Chennai, sir, keynote speaker, my guru, collaborator, and noble participants. 73rd International Workshop. So I'm always selecting the theme of the program itself as for presentation. Inspirational life lessons from the Chinese philosopher Mozi. The outline of the presentation, introduction, learning outcome, and conclusion. Learning inspirational life lessons from the Chinese philosopher Mozi. So before going to the original thoughts of Mozi or Professor Chennai sir rightly mentioned about Mo2, so they can MOT or Moji, Jedi. So 100 schools of thoughts. This one is very nicely, because of this topic only, I came to know about this 100 schools of thought. Very nice video for you.
Over 2,000 years ago, in spring and autumn period China, before China was united, the city-state of Song was facing imminent destruction. The state to take the capital of Song. Not only that, Chu had the size and numerical advantage, it had developed a secret weapon, one that will allow their soldiers to easily overcome Song's defensive walls, the Cloud Ladder. But the fate of Song is not yet sealed. In fact, it is currently being decided a few hundred miles away at the capital of Chu over a war game. Playing for Chu is the brilliant military engineer Gong Su Ban. a man who will one day be known as the patron god of engineers. And playing for the Song side is an unassuming old man in dirty and ragged clothing who look like some random carpenter you can find anywhere off the street. Can he really save the state of Song? Oh, come on. You know how this kind of story goes. The mysterious old man always saves the day. It's a given. But who in the world is he? During the Spring and Autumn and Warring States era, China had a free marketplace of ideas. Philosophers and thinkers competed against each other to get their ideas heard, and they were called the 100 Schools of Thought. Then everything changed when the Fire Nation attacked. Oh no, wrong script. I mean, everything changed when Qin Shi Huang, the first emperor of China, united the land and burned the books of all other schools of thoughts besides legalism. Only the texts of a few schools of thought survived, and among them was the book on Mohism, named after Mozi, the founder of the philosophy. In one episode of Mozi's life, he visited the state of Chu on behalf of the state of Song. He is there to convince them that the invasion will inevitably fail because him and his followers will defend the tiny state to the death. And to prove it to the king of Chu, he challenged the smartest man in the court, the military engineer Gong Su Ban, to a war game simulation, pitting their siege engines and strategies against each other. So this is not just some ancient Chinese Warhammer 40k. What is at stake here is more than the egos of two engineering nerds. If Mozi were to fail here, then it will reveal the flaws of his plan and proves that Song can be taken. The fate of thousands of Song citizens lies upon his hand, so he must win this game. Meanwhile, Gong Su Ban knew that he wasn't going to lose. Again, for the 9th time in a row. The Mohists were a group of pacifists that preaches the idea of universal love, which is antithetical to the Confucian belief that the family needs to be prioritized before care is extended outwards. The Mohists thought that if you love everyone equally, family, friends, or strangers, then the world would be a much better place. So they hate wars, especially invasions. But instead of running away at the first sight of an invading army, they would come to the aid of the defender. To the king's dismay, these bleeding heart fools are not idiots. They had some of the most brilliant mathematicians and siege engineers in their rank. Not a surprise, since Mozi himself was rumored to be a carpenter, a mere commoner. But their siege weaponry and counter-siege tactics is nothing to be scoffed at. Siege crossbows, traction trebuchets, and anti-sapping poison gas, these are just some of their arsenals. And for that time period, those are state-of-the-art weaponry. The outcome of the game was unsurprising. With Gong Su Ban's last war machine laid crushed on the mock battlefield, Mozi had proven that he can repel all their attacks. He won the game. But it is not over yet. He could read Gong Su Ban's expression from across the table. His rival hasn't conceded defeat. Gong Su Ban is an exceedingly clever man who is adept at thinking out of the box. Just because he lost a simulated war fair and square, it doesn't mean that he would lose a real war, where fighting dirty is an option. Yet, he is an honorable man. So he said, "I know how I can beat you, but I will not say it." Mozi replied, "And I know how you think you can beat me, but I will not say it either." Hey, why are you all laughing? What is it that you can't say? Can somebody explain to me what's happening? My king, the solution my friend Gong Su Ban here is thinking of is easy to guess. He thinks that if he murders me here, then Song will be left defenseless. But it won't. My disciple and 300 followers are already waiting for the Chu army on the city walls of Song. Killing me here won't help you achieve your goals. The Mohists were also great debaters because they studied logic. Before the game had even started, Mozi had already pointed out the fact that Chu is way more prosperous than the tiny state of Song. In addition, there is still plenty more land their citizens can develop before they need to expand. Even if they somehow win, they have little to nothing to gain from this invasion. Perhaps the king doesn't care for the lives of his soldiers, but he would certainly value his reputation. The shame of being defeated by such a small state is hardly worth the risk. Fine, I won't attack Song then. And Mozi was set free. To the rulers of expansionist states, the Mohists are nothing but nuisance. After defending one state from an attack, they will move to the other state to defend it from a retaliatory attack. They have no loyalty to anything than their stupid ideal of righteousness and 10 core doctrines. So that's why Mohism had difficulty finding state sponsors. Later, returning from Chu, when Mozi was traveling through Song, he was caught in a rain. When he tried to find shelter under a gate, the gatekeeper who didn't recognize him drove him away. So he had to spend the night in the rain. So he said, doing God's work won't bring recognition, like working for others to see. This story comes from the main Mohist text, and it contains a very important Mohist message. You shouldn't expect rewards for doing the right things. Sometimes you might even be punished for it. Unlike the Taoists, the Mohists believe in a personal God. Their version of heaven, the generic Chinese term for gods, is a benevolent one. It desires righteousness and loves the common people in almost a Judeo-Christian way. But the biggest difference here is that there is no promise of paradise or everlasting life for being righteous. So they basically have to be righteous just for the sake of it. And they want people to know what they are signing up for. You know, a lot of us like superheroes because when they help us, we don't have to give anything back, as they quietly disappear into the shadows. Some people even want to become superheroes themselves because it is cool. But let me ask you this, would you risk and sacrifice yourself to help others, knowing that you would probably be vilified for it? So that's why Mohism wasn't a very attractive ideology, even for the common folks. After the mass book burning by Qin Shi Huang in the Qin dynasty and the state-sponsored promotion of Confucianism, its rival ideology in Han dynasty, the Mohists had practically disappeared. Anyway, just so you know, we've got a playlist on other philosophers.
Right. Very nice. So during Mozi times, 2500 almost years back, situation, always the wars between the countries, provinces. Mozi born the year here before Christ 470 and died 391 before Christ at the age of 79. Ancient philosophy is the era and Chinese philosopher. So this is a very nice video within 2 minutes and what are the contributions of Mozi and Mohism.
Mozi was a Chinese philosopher who lived around the 5th century BCE. He is most noted for his teachings on impartiality and the idea that everyone should show care and concern for all people, regardless of social status or affiliation. Mozi was born into a poor family and had to work hard to make ends meet. He spent his free time studying the works of the ancient Chinese sages. He was particularly impressed by the teachings of Confucius, who believed in the importance of virtue and justice in society. However, Mozi disagreed with Confucius' focus on the elite and argued that everyone should be treated equally. Mozi traveled widely during his lifetime, spreading his message of impartiality. He wrote extensively on topics such as politics, religion, and morality. He also founded the Mahist school of thought, which emphasized the importance of frugality and charity. Moses' teachings had a profound influence on Chinese culture and thought. He is remembered today as one of the most important figures in the history of Chinese philosophy. His legacy continues to be studied and discussed, and his ideas are still relevant in today's world. Thank you so much for watching our channel and learning about all the amazing historical people that...
Right. So very simply they mentioned, so Professor Chennai sir rightly mentioned universal law and hate war. War is not a solution for any type of problems, even in the 21st century also. So importance of society and self. What Venkateswara sir asked about governance, law and society here.
And so lavish funerals entail burying a great deal of wealth, and prolonged mourning entails prohibiting people from pursuing their vocations for an extended period of time. Among many things which Mozi is known for pioneering, his development of ethics distinct from the more prevailing schools at the time, and his application of justice to law and public policy to cure the ills of his time and ending centuries of conflict is arguably the most well-known aspect of Mozi's philosophy. In today's discussion of Mozi's ethics and jurisprudence, we will be analyzing his position on how the state's primary goal of promoting happiness for the greater number of people influences law and public policy, and assessing his critiques of the misguided social order of other competing schools of philosophy. There are 10 themes that can be extracted from the book of Mozi. 1. Promoting the unworthy. 2. Identifying the upward. 3. Inclusive care. 4. Condemning aggression. 5. Moderation in use. 6. Moderation in burial. 7. Heaven's intent. 8. Understanding ghost. 9. Condemning music. And 10. Condemning fatalism. Mozi's primary condemnation of music stems from the harmfulness of music due to its negative functions, one of which is its uselessness in promoting the material conditions of everyone. In the surviving fragment of his article, Condemnation of Music, he argued that music, insofar as promoting happiness of the greater good, does little to none, as it provides no welfare for the population in contrast to the boats, carts, and other materials which may help men to rest their feet and the workers to relax their shoulders. Since music neither offers material benefits nor reduces the three great worries of the common people relating to food, clothing, and shelter, in other words, improving the material conditions of society, he perceived music as a moral good. He proclaimed that, "Let us try sounding the huge bells, striking the rolling drums, strumming the zithers, blowing the pipes, and waving the shields and axes in the martial dance. Does this do anything to provide food and clothing for the people? I hardly think so." He further stated that music can do nothing to rescue the world from chaos and restore it to order. In circumstances where the great states attack the small ones, the great families molest the small ones, the strong oppress the weak, the many tyrannize the few, the cunning deceive the stupid, the eminent lord over the humble, and the bandits and thieves rise up on all sides and cannot be oppressed. In other words, when the class contradictions in society become far too prevalent that the masses rise up against the ruling elites, they cannot be resolved simply by singing away. Mozi further propounded that not only is music the means which cannot propose any resolutions to the ills of society, it is often used as a tool by the ruling elites to oppress the masses. It becomes evil when it not only deprives the people of wealth needed for their food and clothing, but is being used by the rulers and the ministers who, in pursuit of leisure and war, levy heavy taxes upon the common people to produce musical instruments such as bells, drums, zithers, and pipes. He explains this as follows. If those above are unable to attend to their affairs, then the government will be in chaos. If those below are unable to pursue their various tasks, then food and clothing will be in short supply. This will lead unruly and depraved people who lack proper clothing and sufficient food to build up resentment and indignation in their hearts and express it in wanton violence that cannot be stopped. To seek to bring good order to one state by increasing the number of thieves and robbers and decreasing the number of decent and good people is like asking someone who is standing in front of you to turn around 3 times without exposing his back to you. Therefore, music, though a radical proposal for being harmful to the extent that it must be prohibited, Mozi not only saw music as a non-good, but he also suggested that performing music is also wrong, since it is a waste of labor and material resources, two things that are most vital to promoting the welfare of all lives. He viewed performance of music as a waste of human resources, since it must have young people in their prime, whose eyes and ears are keen, and whose arms are so strong that they make the sounds harmonious and seem to strike the bells front and back. Instead of young men spending their time on plowing and planting, and young women on weaving and spinning, their efforts to produce food and clothing will be interfered by employing music. Likewise, those young men and women who are engaging in other arts like dance, theater, must wear sophisticated embroidered silk in order to make their acts more refined and eat the finest food and drink in order to keep their faces pleasant. Though they produce any sort of material substances, they live like parasites living off of the hard labor, according to Mozi. Mozi went on to further note not only the destructive effect of arts in times of need, like during the Warring States period, but its detriment can also lead to such periods because of its nature of enticing people away from improving the material welfare of society. He noted that the extent to which such practices interfere with the work of the people and dissipate their wealth is beyond calculation, but this is the degree to which people are willing to pursue useless endeavors. Music, like other forms of art, often involved in rituals and in lavish lifestyles, appeals to sense perception of the ruling class. However, since humans are social creatures, we take no pleasure in gaining delight from participating in festivals alone, even if we are fond of arts and musical performance. So, not only will the ruling class who spend their time listening to music will deplete their time and attention to look after government administration in exhausting their strength and wisdom in directing affairs within the state, those who could be toiling in labor to benefit the well-being of all will also instead spending their time partaking in social affairs, producing nothing of sorts. He penned, "If the people starve themselves in this manner, then they will be unable to withstand the cold of winter or the heat of summer, and countless numbers of them will grow ill and die. This greatly diminishes the chances for men and women to procreate. To seek to increase the population in this way is like seeking to increase people's longevity by getting them to fall upon their swords." Mozi perceived this as extremely dangerous, since most people will not only get to participate in promoting the happiness of others and utilizing the best of their abilities, but will also likely not get to take part in such activities, leading to disorder and decay, as well as to nepotism and suffering. Therefore, he reasoned that listening to music and other performance arts may most likely lead to the abuse of governing power and the bungling of social production. Therefore, the laws that a society ordains must...
So here, more video is telling about the music. Because of wastage of time, it is not in a position to feed the people. There are so many aspects of, but according to our culture, the generation, so we are giving importance to music. It reflects our culture and many other things. There are even some medical journals, medicine very nicely even cured some diseases by listening music. One of my scholars, the first scholar he did on music education in Shillong. So when time goes on, it is our duty to change the attitude, change the perceptions and methods and way of lifestyle. So whatever good from during that period, you can take it. So there is nothing wrong to listen whatever happened. Some poverty is the root of disorders in the country. This is true. Even still, some of parts of India we have this Maoist or Naxalism. This is one way we are telling poverty, in another way we are telling the governments are not in a position to interact with all and treating. So, but we don't want to discuss negative things in our program, because they are always governments, local government, state government, central government, always trying to do their best. So poverty, instead of distributing the wealth to eradicate poverty, it is always better to create the wealth to eradicate poverty. So now maximum governments, they are distributing the wealth to eradicate poverty. This is not a permanent solution. That's why the economic position or status of maximum states in India are not up to the mark because of this. Now what is happening in Pakistan, what happened has happened in Sri Lanka, you are aware. So Whoever criticizes others must have something to replace them. Criticism without suggestion is like trying to stop flood with flood and put out fire with fire. It will surely be without worth. So this is really wonderful. Our senior colleagues in the department, Professor Sungo ma'am, always suggests whenever someone is giving criticizing, I always ask, okay, what is your suggestion? If you don't have any suggestion, it is not good to criticize. That is truly, I agree also, strongly agree. So better when you are criticizing, if you have alternative answer or approach, then only better to criticize. Otherwise, keeping silent is very, very important. If the noble and wise govern the fools, then there is order. So we need, that's why philosopher king concept. Unfortunately, sometimes in some places around the globe, you can see the those who are rulers, maybe a prime minister or a president, they are not wise. Because of a single person, the whole nation, crores, lakhs and crores of people, they always suffer. So this is very nicely, just like in our Chanakya, in our Indian economics, and Dhananand, the Magadha's emperor, very nicely, still we are calling is the father of economy, the Arthashastra Pitamaha, Kautilya, Chanakya. The value of a knife is in its sharpness. Here, even human being, it is our value is our skills, our competency, our capabilities. Teacher role is to learn, to enhance his or her capabilities. What Dr. Depalata Gupta madam told, actually here not only a teaching good things for the students, it is our duty to show a model life, a role model life to students while practicing in our daily life. That all makes more valuable, worthful than only preaching. Many people they can preach, but they never practice. So no value in general. So my way of principle I learned from Professor Chinnai sir, and I'm always sharing with Dr. Srotasni Gugoi madam. Really identified great skills and values from them. So it is better. Someone may be not sin, but always God is there, inner soul is there to watch what you are doing. So better be answerable for yourself. To accomplish anything, whatsoever, one must have standards. None have yet accomplished anything without them. That is why now NCTE, NCRT, UGC, many national and international organizations are coming up to enhance the standards of teaching and learning. Earlier, without a computer, every teaching learning, now it is impossible. We are already introduced blender learning, flipper learning, personalized learning, and number of things, standards. That's why the teacher standards. It is our duty to enhance, improve day by day. That's why regular, thorough self-training is important. Recently, I told you the yesterday also is the ISWAL, Professor Vijay Kumar sir from NIRD, PR Guwahati. This training program is a self-training is important. I think Prita Lakshmi ji, okay, I will ask you if you have any queries later. Even in the deep valleys, the broad forests, the dark and distant places where no one lives, you must not fail to act with sincerity, for the ghosts and spirits will see you even there. So this one, it is our duty to what you are doing, you know better than others. So don't feel someone is not watching means yourself is there. Your even they have their own the spiritual god. Suppose we try to locate the cause of disorder, we shall find it lies in the war of mutual love. So universal love, mutual love is very, very important. So the Confucius what in the video we got giving importance for more family, but here society, even globe, not society means here, whole universe. The wise man who has a charge of governing the empire should know the cause of disorder before he can put in order. Unless he knows its cause, he cannot regulate it. So this just like Chanakya, even how to rule, what to do, what not to do. The same way, Mozi also during that time caused warned the rulers what to do, what not to do for the welfare of maximum. If the rulers sincerely desire the empire to be wealthy and dislike to have it poor, desire to have it orderly and dislike to have it chaotic, they should bring about universal love and mutual aid. This is the way of the sage kings and the way to order for the world, and it should not be neglected. So, universal love. Even again, I can recall Dr. Deplata Gupta and Vasudaika Kutumbakam. Actually, if maybe a continent, maybe a countries are different, but geographical human beings, we are also human beings, and Chinese are also human beings everywhere. They have, whenever we want to express our happiness, laughing only, even though we are away from thousands of kilometers, but we are expressing our feelings. Someone wants to cry, so cry. Someone never laugh to express his aggressiveness or sadness. So the feelings are same in that way. Their expression maybe the periods are different, continents may be different, gender may be different, religion may be different. That feelings are same in that way. They have the same wherever. Islam also telling the same thing, Christianity also telling the same thing, Hinduism also telling the same thing, Buddhism, every Jainism. So peace and non-violence, and it is our duty, unity. Kalasi unte kaladu sukam in our Telugu also. Whenever you are, it is always better live together, togetherness. If we should classify one by one all those who hate others and injure others, should we find them to be universal in love or partial? No, it is not good. Unfortunately, now many countries making a just NATO is the reason for the war between Russia and Ukraine because of a membership and the consequences. Of course, we should say they are partial. Now, since partiality against one another is the cause of the major calamities in the empire, then partiality is wrong. So but still it is kind of, even though once one of the programs I asked Professor Chennai sir why they are not learning from the past, war is not good. We know, but still we are feeling there is no better solution than war. But war is the worst solution. Even though after knowing also we are selecting the war is the only solution to resolve, but this type of misinterpretations are going on. The virtuous who are prosperous must be exalted. The virtuous who are not prosperous must be exalted too. Mind is understanding of the essence of things. That's why we know about different schools, isms of philosophy, schools of philosophy, and idealism, realism, naturalism, pragmatism, Confucianism, socialism, and number of. So mind is very. That's why word is a poison, word is a medicine. Professor Chennai sir always mentioning on the filter your thought moment to moment. What thoughts will maximum crimes because of thoughts only. They are not in a position to, there is no investment to think negative thoughts. But if you someone is hurting you, you will feel pain. The same way, if you treat like that, no one can think negatively. If there is no mutual love between people, a mutual hatred will arise. There is no love means sometimes it is neutral also, but at the same time mutual love. very nice movie, Prakash Raj in our Telugu film industry also. Really a wonderful. So knowing with the known people also, with unknown people also, I always give smile before interaction. So this type of things. Recently, that Saint Joseph School, when I went to deliver lecture, one of play school teacher always smiling. Really. Then I interacted with the principal. She said she is one of the best teacher. So here the face is the mirror of inner feelings, better, love, love, love. My mod, Dr. Srutasni Gogoi, Madam 5Ls, like, love, learn, live, and live. So love is the only mantra. If someone is liking you, loving you, you never hate. So we can change a people through love. Universal love is really the way of the sage king. It is what gives peace to the rulers and the sustenance to the people. What is happening? I don't want to mention the names of the states and the political parties, but they are feeling just like India and Pakistan. But Professor Chennai sir also suggested we are not concentrating only on countries or states. This is a global, this is Vasudhaika, universal. So that's why we don't want to share any negative things of any person or place or the country. So you glow differently when you are actually happy. Santosam sagam balam. Happiness is half strength. Be happy, whatever it is. You cannot control certain things. Things are under your control, things are not under your control. Is it possible for me to change the president of USA, Prime Minister of UK? There is no rule, no goal. It is impossible. So why to worry about this internal politics if you are not in a position to influence anything? But unfortunately, people are wasting their valuable time. That's why the Mozi they told the music is not good or useful, because while talking international politics or state politics or international politics, we are unable to, because no one allow you to enter into parliament or assembly to participate in dialogue. Then what is the use? Even sometimes I feel very, what is going on? The cricket match after match, again they are discussing about third umpire, fourth umpire. So why this one, maybe a player played like this, he's supposed to play like. So this is actually situation based learning, based on the time that plays that a person supposed to do like that. Unfortunately, we are over smart. This type of discussions are useless, but they are doing again and again at a. So universal love is really the way of the sage kings. It is what gives peace to the rulers and sustenance to the people. This is very, very important. When there is universal love in the whole, it will be orderly. And when there is a mutual hate in the whole, it will be disorderly. That's why it is better to hate. You hate the word hate. So I'm always telling this type of things, regular, irregular. So postpone your postponement. Don't postpone. So postpone your postponement. If you do like this, here hate also, don't hate the hate. So a three-pronged test for any belief, can it be verified by the sights and senses of common people? How is it to be applied? Will it benefit the greatest number? Suppose we try to locate the cause of disorder, we shall find it lies in the want of mutual love. So mutual love is the only solution for many international problems, between the countries, among the countries. When universal love is adopted as the standard, then such are the consequent benefits. It is incomprehensible then why people should object to universal love when they hear it. The maybe Syria and Turkey still they're suffering, and thousands of people they lost their life, and the international border of Turkey opened after 2.5 decades. See, we are unable to make a good relationship with our own neighbors, but we are always trying to make. Is it possible to anyone to erode to remove the border? So remove the neighbor, impossible. It is, we know it is impossible, but even though we are not in a position to live nicely with our neighboring country, so we are motivating differently. Enthusiasm is to be shown only to the virtuous, and plans for the country are only to be shared with the learned. So this is very, very important. To accomplish, already I mentioned this one, whatsoever one must have standards. None have yet accomplished anything without them. The virtuous who are prosperous must be, this one also mentioned, because it attract the attention of the participant. That's why I taken separately the same thing. Whatsoever here criticize, others must have something to replace. If they don't have, don't do it. If one does not preserve the land in a state, he will be injuring the state. So Professor Chennai sir rightly mentioned, Pandit, always those who are wise people, philosophers, scientists, and teachers, women, children, it is our duty to protect them. If one is not jealous to recommend the virtues upon seeing one, he will be neglecting the ruler. All states in the world, large or small, are cities of heaven, and all people, young or old, honorable or humble, are its subjects. So, irrespective of age, irrespective of position, irrespective of caste, religion, uh, and ethnicity, better to treat all. That's why the Constitution of India, what Professor Chennai sir rightly mentioned, the Ambedkar and great, the first president of India, Rajendra Prasad, wonderfully Dr. Rajendra Prasad ji, they viewed the beautiful India and bright India. The wise man who has charge of governing the empire should know the cause of disorder before he can put in order. Unless he knows its cause, he cannot regulate it. Just like a doctor's duty to find the reason of the or what type of diseases a patient has. It is better without identifying the disease, he or she can't cure it. In the same way, it is our duty to identify the cause for disorder. Few are those who, neglecting the virtuous and slighting the law, could still maintain the existence of their countries. If the gentleman desires to be gracious ruler, a loyal minister, and affectionate here, father, son, courteous, elder, younger, so brother, if we need very affectionate love, this is a universal love. It is the way of sage kings and the great blessings of the people. All the gentlemen of the world know that they should condemn these things, calling them unrighteous. But when it comes to the great unrighteousness of the attacking states, they do not know that they should condemn it. On the contrary, they applaud it, calling it righteous. When I that Mizoram, just Mizoram adjacent we have Myanmar, but in now at present in Myanmar junta government, the ruling as army. So whether it is right or wrong, we are not in a position to give judgment, but always the democratic government elected by the people, it is always good. All the calamities, stripes and complaints and hatred in the world have arisen out of mutual love. Therefore, the benevolent disapproved of this want. The purpose of a magnanimous is to be found in procuring benefits for the world and eliminating its calamities. Mutual attacks among the states here, people, between the people, among the countries, between the countries. So this is not good. So our duty always this universal law. Now what we have found out of the consequences of universal law to be the major benefits of the world, and the consequences of partiality to be the major calamities in the world. This is the reason why Mozi said partiality is wrong and universality is right. See, partiality and universality. Now, as to universal love and mutual aid, they are beneficial and easy beyond your doubt. Always this, so the words universal love, again and again they mention the words of, yeah, malicious slander should not be allowed to enter the ear. A defensive voice should not be allowed. So simply in the Mahatma Gandhi also it is told, don't see bad things, don't hear bad things, and don't say bad things. So this is every culture. If everyone in this world will love universally, states not attacking one another, houses not disturbing one another, so thieves and robbers becoming extinct, emperor and ministers, father and sons, all being affectionate, and failure. If all this comes to pass, the world will be orderly. So actually, we have a non-alignment movement. Jawaharlal Nehru, really wonderful. Still, we are continuing the same thing. The maximum benefits of our citizens is now many European countries, even America, forcing us to oppose Russia, but India has its own stand, neither supporting anyone nor opposing anyone, always stressing on peace and non-violence. When we try to develop and procure benefits for the world with universal love as our standard. So see, nothing from this program we can take away two things. One is universal love, another one is hate war. War not only between the countries, between the states, between districts, even not within you also, your inner soul and you. Sometimes negative thoughts are coming up. This is also, that's why jihad, actually you have, it is your duty to own on your negative thoughts, negative things, negative feelings, but people are misinterpreting the word Islam itself is a peace. If we should classify one by one all those who hate others and injure others, should we find them to be universal in love or partial? No, it is impossible. This is wrong. Hate is not at all an answer for any type of question. When feudal lords love one another, there will be no more war. When heads of houses love one another, there will be no more mutual uncertainty. When individuals love one another, there will be no more mutual injury. When rulers and ruled love each other, they will be gracious and loyal. When father and son love each other, they will be affectionate and filial. When older and younger brothers love each other, they will be harmonious. What a wonderful, even as Puttaparthi Satya Sai Baba also told the same thing. APJ Abdul Kalam, Swami Vivekananda, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, or Indian philosophers, Indian thinkers, scientists, great people mentioned the same thing. What is the purpose of houses? Professor Chennai sir already mentioned. So it is it is to protect us from the wind and cold of winter, the heat and rain of summer, and keep out robbers and thieves. Once these ends have been secured, that is all. Whatever does not contribute to this end should be eliminated. The purpose. So we need the philosophical way of life. When all the people in the world love one another, then the strong will not overpower the weak. The many will not oppress the few. The wealthy will not mock the poor. The honored will not disdain the humble, and cunning will not deceive the simple. Very wonderful. So that's why only mantra is love, that is universal love. If we should classify one by one all those who love others and benefits others, so nothing more than this. If the ruler sincerely desired the empire to be wealthy and disliked to have it poor, desired to have it orderly and dislike to have it, but they should actually universal love. This is the way of the sage kings and way to order the world and should be neglected. Janaka Maharaju, actually the king Janaka. You can see the Vishwamitra, Vashishta Mahamuni, Valmiki Mahamuni, every our Hindu mythology and philosophy, history, if you see, always they're listening the guru means teacher, what to do, what not to do. When we come to think about the several benefits in regard to their cause, how they arisen, have they arisen out of hate for others and injuring others? Of course, we should say no. We should say they have arisen out of love of others and here benefiting others. The last one here, the murder of one person is called unrighteous and incurs one death penalty. If you murder 10 times, if you murder 100 times. So based on your activity, you will be punished. So if you want to know more about Mozi, so Internet Encyclopedia of Philosophy here, very nicely, iep.utm.edu. Very nicely, you can see known as Mozi or MOTZU, Moju. Master Mo was Chinese thinker, active from the late 5th to the early 4th century BCE. He is the best remembered for being the first major intellectual rival to Confucius. So utilitarianism, even some of researchers they mentioned is the first utilitarianism. So these are all our models and many things. Now over to Professor Chinnai sir.
Congratulations, Amresh sir, for your nice talk. Very good expression. Very nice, Amresh sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. This universal love and hate war really wonderful. So if the whole world globe supposed to follow it to to create peaceful environment, this is really wonderful, sir. Thank you for suggesting me to identify new things and new philosophers, new concepts.
So in the future also you may discover or you may find, you may inquire, do research to know many mysterious persons in the world. Huh?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So
I will do,
you
sir.
you have a full freedom, and you have done very nicely. You have selected and you have found a very good philosopher. At the same time, you have presented very nicely, very good things. So all the best, Amresh sir. Very good.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Welcome.
So really, I'm happy to learn new things, not only sharing, even myself also learning. Sharing is learning. Thank you very much, Professor Chinnai sir, for motivating us and delivering extraordinary keynote address and interacting with Pavan sir, Venkateswara
All the
sir,
best,
and
Amresh sir.
Dr. Deepalata Gupta madam. Thank you, sir, for sincere advice and suggestions. Really grateful to our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Prabhasankar Shukla sir. Without his, it is not possible to organize these programs. So the head of the institution taking care of everything. Professor Raja Reddy sir, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Sri Venkateswara University, Dr. Nagarajasri Madam, Dr. Vijay Bhaskar sir for uploading our flyers on SVU website. Professor Mitali Kaur ma'am, Principal, Moran College, Dr. Rajendra Prasad Battakur sir, IQAC Coordinator, Moran College, Dr. Swatosini Gugoi Madam, Head Department of Philosophy, Workshop Coordinator, Moran College for their continuous support. Professor Mipun sir, ISTD Chairman, Professor Dikshit sir, a person behind to organize this n number of programs, series of programs. Nowadays, really, I'm meeting every day, sir, and taking suggestions what to do, what not to do. So this is very great opportunity. They have more than 3 decades of experience, and Professor Chinnai sir 4 decades, Dr. Vijay Kumar sir 34 years. So while interacting with these type of teachers, I'm learning formal learning, non-formal learning, informal learning, continuous learning, lifelong learning. Learning is the only mantra for a teacher. So love and learning, you can do two L's are very important. Thank you very much. And noble participants, those who are interacted with Professor Chennai sir, we are on time. So immediately now the national anthem, I can share feedback form to get your certificate. Thank you very much.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Jai Hind, thank you. Please submit your feedback form. YouTube viewers also, please submit your feedback form. After submission, you can check.